Hello everyone, this is Defense Politics Asia. Um, the slow news day kind of vexed me because I'm kind of having a lack of intel about what is actually happening on the ground, and I decided to pull out a fire map. This time around, I'm using a different one. I believe you guys might have seen me use a fire map before to just see some of the things happening around. And this is the GIS. This is a different one, and I thought this is actually better. And and as usual, you'll find that there are fire everywhere all the time, and the fire tends to be more fiercer in places that are kind of more backwards. Of course, you can see that United Kingdom is also burning somewhat as if they got hit by the Nazi Germany's Battle of England. So, but you can see that in terms of the more backwards, seemingly more backwards country, they are using more firewoods. So they are actually a bit more fire sensed. So it is somewhat of a challenge to actually identify what is real, what is not. So we will just go around the map and we can kind of like figure out together and see what is possible, what is not. So there is a lot of dots all over the place in the western of Ukraine, and I seriously doubt that many of them are actually uh, burning stuff or got hit by something. They could be, but they could also be just normal fires, and it could be also uh, just people burning some kind of firewood kind of thing. And since we are, so you can see it seems very exaggerating like this, but actually if you zoom in, right, it's actually rather small. You can see this kind of thing, these kind of fires are very normal fires. Maybe something like that is probably a heat, something not so sure. So let's go away from the non-front lines places. Let's go to the Kyiv Front, where we have this rumor of fighting of the Ukrainians surrounding the Russian forces. So at first glance, you may think that, oh, it seems like they are fighting indeed, going around here. Then I wouldn't deny that it's possibility that there's definitely fighting around a pit, and probably around here, just off Ostamel at Horenka. But some of them that maybe makes a bit little less sense, like this. This could actually be artillery locations, where the Russians place their artillery, which is why they also might have captured the fire spots. Then there are also some places that there are something burning around. So this, but something around like a pin kind of thing, this does indeed look a lot like a fighting zone. It's rather intense. The places where they have fire is very close together, and we can also see that there seems to be fighting all around, especially Mykolaiv, where the Ukrainians sort of took it, and you can see the fighting is all around the roads, and some of them around the city areas. So not sure if you can see it. Can we change a different map? Maybe this. Would this be better? I honestly have no idea. Yeah, maybe slightly. Um, maybe slightly. Navigation. Yeah, this is actually worse. So let's go with OpenStreetMap. But the main thing is we want to see the build-up area. Yeah, this seems to be slightly better. So okay, so we can see that in this build-up area along the forest line, there's a lot of fighting around here. So I'm not sure who actually holds this position, to be honest. So if it's the Russians that are holding, then we might actually see this makes a lot of sense. Maybe the Ukrainians are attacking through the forest, So that could be possible. So a lot of burning, a lot of fire stuff detected here. My opinion of this is actually these are artillery location positions. So you can see some fighting around here as well. Around this definitely are places that are having some fight. And let's move. Oh my god, why are they all in Russian? Goodness. Okay. Then let's go back to something that I can read. My goodness. Go back to, forget it. Go back to topography. Yeah, this how you can read. So we can see fighting around at Mykolaiv, and some fighting of Avdiivka. The lack of you see the faint ones. The lack of the faint ones make me feel like these are artillery bases, but I have no idea. I may be wrong. So you can see there's some heavy fighting around Zaporizhzhia, and so we move forward. We can also see there's a lot of burning stuff all around here. There is this rumored Russian advance towards Ovruch, so this could be the one. Maybe on the way there, they are fighting a lot around this region. So this might make sense. This might actually be artillery positions of the Ukrainians. If you look, it's actually, you see the way how it's positioned, 1 line, 2 line. So that it does looks a lot like a, because of the formation, it does look a lot like artillery positions. So they might be hitting this area where maybe the Russians are trying to progress, or they are hiding in the forest, which is why you can see a lot of the explosion points all over the place. This could be possible. And then of course if you look at this position, let's see, around this area there's a lot of burning stuff as well. Rubizhne. That's let's go to this one. Zaporizhzhia, Narodish. So if we compare the two maps, no, not this one, this one. Yep. So if you compare the positions, Narodish. So there is a lot of burning places around here, and then this route going to Ovruch, and you can see that it's full of burning stuff, and it looks like a lot of fighting is happening around here. But because most of the fronts, the only one that the Russians are actually reporting is at the Donetsk and the Luhansk side, because these are the official, place that they are actually fighting to liberate. And the rest of the Ukraine seems like as if they're not supposed to have any fighting, so it's very funny. So they don't report about it at all. So sometimes a map like this might seems to indicate much better in terms of fighting. I'm still undecided whether I want to use fire maps to actually decide how do I map this, because this is actually not too bad, especially this one, because this fire map is actually better than the one I used to have. Let's hide the bookmarks. And this the detail of the points actually seems a lot more accurate and more specific. So that's very interesting to me. Not sure what the hell is this. It does look like a bombardment on a wide area. So I'm sure there's some artillery pieces around here. For example, you see these 6 points, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This consistent geometrical shape, this actually looks like an artillery position. Similarly here. So let's see where's this location. Is Oh god, why is there so many names here? Let's move up a bit, scroll a bit. Is southeast. Looks like it's around here. Can I close this? No, I can't close it. So we have to make do. Open it a bit here. Stop. I might be blind. You might have seen something which I haven't. So I have to look for some of the town names because goodness, where is it? Okay, let's zoom out a bit. I'm so confused now. Okay, we have the forest here. It's actually just south of the forest. Yeah, I think they might be using different names. Stara Makivka. Yeah, so this Stara Makivka, and then just south of this location. Yeah, so there might be artillery positions around here because you see the fire here doesn't make a lot of sense. So it's actually along this. There seems to be a road here. So there might be possibility where there are Russian positions around here, or I may be wrong, and this can actually be Ukrainian artillery positions. So this is just something very interesting to look at. Definitely, we can see how the fighting is. The Ukrainians are trying very hard to fight and try to attack on multiple fronts against the Russians. Because except for this part where I think it's a Russian offense, I think the rest of the part is actually part of the highly rumored Ukrainian counteroffensive. So let's go to the other side. We can see that this area is definitely these are all fires from battles because this entire area is actually Russian hell. And if we go a bit closer, we can see that maybe the Russians got hit or the Russians are having artillery firing back. So not so sure about this. What is interesting is the number of fire around Chernihiv. So in Chernihiv, what is interesting is that all this looks like artillery positions to me. And you can see there's some kind of organization in terms of where the fire, how they are positioned. But no, it's very vague. Very vague. So, but we can see that there's a lot of heavy fighting around Chernihiv. Not sure what is the situation there. Because if you look at the map that I have, it's rather consistent in terms of the location. Let's see where's the road. Okay. So this road is this road. So there are fires around here. So the fire is actually away from the mentioned static positions of the Russians. So it's actually further. So not sure what is this supposed to mean, but of course we are just referencing, which is why I cannot use Firemap to gauge where is actually the fighting are sometimes, or where the position of the units are. So let's move away from there. Let's look at some of the other places where we have a lot of interest in. We can see that there's nothing happening on at Kharkiv, nothing much. You see it's very quiet. A little bit of fire here and there. And if you go to Balaklia, you can see a little bit of small fires here. So this could be representing maybe some kind of small firefights around here. And we go to Izyum. Izyum is one of those places that we are interested in, right? You can see that there are multiple dots south of Izyum. And let's go to Izyum on this side. And we can compare the map. My understanding is that this entire area is all full of Ukrainian forces. They are not here, not really in the city. They are only in the south of the city. So if you look further down, so we look closer a bit. This is Kamenka, which is actually Kamyamka here. Oh my god. Okay. We can see that they're fighting at Kamyanka, and there's around around Malakomi around here. There's also certain fighting, further south around this area where there is water here. So there's also fighting off in the forest here at just across the river here at Shiznikivka. So very interesting, right? I also not too sure. We can actually look at, you see there is some fire, maybe these are old fire, so we can quite be sure that the Bavinkov area, the fighting kind of like died down there. So small fires around here. Maybe there's some kind of you can see there's also more small fires around here. We're not sure what kind of fire is this. Maybe there could be a scouting unit that's going through and then they are firing each other. Maybe not. So Kramatorsk, all these fires might be missile strikes. And then we have a lot of fight at Rubizhne. So this is one of those interesting one when I went through, because the Ukrainians claims that the Russians have not captured Rubizhne, and we can kind of see this possibility because there's a lot of burning in the northern half, the southern half of the northern half. So it's around here. There's a lot of burning around here, and this could also mean that they are fighting around this region. And the lack of fire, spotted further south, does put Russian claims that they have taken Rubizhne and fighting around Severodonetsk very suspicious, right? Agree. So this is something that we have to look at, because based on the lack of fire around here, that seems suspicious, and at Rubizhne there's fire all around the center of the city. We would definitely make sure that we have to take a look and make sure this information is actually correct. Otherwise, when we go further down, first K, you can see that along this road down, can we see the road here? I don't think we can see the road. Okay, then we have to, based on the location, there's actually fires detected around this area. So this could be fighting around here, could be fighting around, or this could be also artillery fires, but not sure what is them. What are they? It could be fighting, which means this border might be wrong. We might be have to push back, because this is the Russian position, right, at this place. So if this is the case, then we might have good reasons to believe that the Ukrainians actually have all the way to this point. We might want to push this back to, I think, to maybe match this, because this does look like a front line to me. Shall we do it? Let's do it, because I think they might not have captured this anymore. Maybe might have been taken. You see, there's a lack of fighting and fires around here. The fighting is now around south of Zizny. So let's put this here, and let's give the Nizhny to the Russians. However, I want to follow with this position, and all the way to, what is this? This is a road name. Does look like a road name. Let's zoom out a bit. I'm lost. Wait, where am I? Oh no, I'm lost. Donetsk is here. Also, I'm actually very zoom in. Donetsk. So the front line, we have to go to around Donetsk. let's zoom out a bit, and then we go south, and there's some fire around Zolote. So, but I do believe this is actually more safer than this Popasna. So Popasna, you can see that there is still very heavy fighting around here, despite originally the Luhansk forces claim that they have captured it. By looking at this, it doesn't look like the case, right? It still looks like still a lot of heavy fighting. These points are not so sure what are they. They could be fighting, or they could be artilleries, bombarding. Not too sure what is this. Let's check what's the location of this. Can I zoom in more? Novovanivka. So it's actually around here. What are these things? So it doesn't look like there's much things there. Small villages along the, yeah, I'm not so sure, but this could be. This is actually very interesting that the fire is actually behind. So who knows, this might be actually a Ukrainian push behind. That's possible. So let's move on to the other front, which is Avdiivka. So this is Avdiivka. Okay, I think I'm zooming too much. So Avdiivka, I think I need to zoom in further. Yeah. So Avdiivka. So you can see these lines. This line. This is so straight, right? This definitely looks like artillery positions. Firing probably into Avdiivka. So this is actually just north, just around here. Just around here. So these are Ukrainian positions. So maybe they have artillery here. They are firing into Avdiivka. And maybe, or they are firing around this position, just south here. And they are reported push towards here. And maybe they might have succeeded because the fire is around outside. It's around the names are all different, so it's a bit confusing. Yeah, the fires are all around this river here. So the fires are here. So there might be a case where the Russians have already captured turrets, but then they have not captured the border here. That there's still a lot of fire and fighting all along the front here. This is possible. But I'm not going to move the front for this part. Let's pen for some better information rather than guesswork. And then we are down to the north of Donetsk Front, which is where Avdiivka is. So Avdiivka, this is a stronghold of the Ukrainians. And then towards the north, there is this fighting around this. You see the bend of the road? The bend of the road. So I have to zoom in so that we can see. So you can see exactly that they are fighting around here as per this entrenched position. The entrenched position is just at this junction here. So you can see the fighting is over there. And then there's tremendous amount of fighting all over this area. All over this entire area. So Verkhovno-Autorske was announced to have been captured, and then they are fighting in the north here. So along the river here. So you can see the bend on the road here, the bend on the road. So then the fighting is around here. And probably along the entire stretch of the river here as well. And this entire area seems to be bombarded, which is exactly this entire deep, or this hole here. This is all fighting locations. Then we can move further south into the Donetsk Front here. So this part of the fighting is around Piske here. So this is actually the airport. This pop-out thing. This is actually the airport. So they are fighting north of Donetsk airport here in the Vodian area. So they're fighting around here near the river here. There's fighting. And if we go to the west, which is where the Russian attention tends to be when it comes to all this official announcement, we have Oleksandrivka, which is here, and then they have mentioned they have captured Marinka. So Marinka is actually this point. This Marinka. This little hill here, this is the one that I showed you in the previous quick update, where they have where the trenches go all the way up to the top, and then you can see that all these dots are fading, so maybe suggest that the fighting have been the fire have been faded, because there's no legend saying what this means, the faded dots. So I believe this is over already, and then they are fighting still in the north of it, which is actually this part, Krasnohorivka, correct. So this is the part where now there's some fighting happening now. And if you go south of it, so you can see this is actually a highway just south of Marinka, and there are engagement all around this area along the road, there is an entrenchment here, which is exactly just south of Marinka. And then we can also witness the fighting just north of Slavny. So Slavny is actually Stepney Hill around here. So you can see this dot is actually this part. No, this is actually here, correct, along the river. So there's fighting around here. Mykolaiv, some fighting, and then there's a lot of fire at Konstantinivka, which is here. Then you can see these lines. You can see these are very straight lines, very consistent straight lines. These are definitely artillery and grab positions, more of them here. So, and then just look at the orientation, where they are pointing towards. They are all pointing towards Kronohorivka, as well as all the front lines around here. See, you can see the direction, the direction that they are actually pointing towards. And then so the rest of the front here is very quiet, which is seems to be the case, where we are fighting around here. There are reported fighting for Novokrenka. Fighting supposedly at Novokrenka, but on this part it looks very quiet on the map, on this fire map. And there's also not many news around here. So Huyaipo is one of those curious places, right, that we have not much news. And you can see that there are some fighting around this area, and south of Poltavka. So there's some fighting around this river region here, this city here, this village here. There's some fighting around here. Huyaipo wise is quite quiet. Not sure what's happening. So we are not getting reports around this region, so we have to kind of look at all this. In terms of Chernihiv, you can see this is likely a artillery position because of the straight lines, which is around just south, so around this region. So they are maybe firing around from this village. This is likely Ukrainian artillery. So who would they be shelling? This direction. Maybe they are shouting Malatochmashka. Possible. And we have also some fighting at Kamyamske here area. So we can see that there's a fire around here at Pyatikatki. So this could also be a possible, a Ukrainian push, or this can actually be captured by Ukrainians previously and the Russians are actually fighting it. And definitely Kamyanske here, there's some fire around here. So we can see that the harassment, or at least the fighting, is across the board along the entire line. And there are also some other suspicious stuff, like this kind of fire that we have no idea what's happening, and not sure if the artillery position. And you might be interested in Mariupol, right? So can you see the artillery positions? You see, these are all definitely artillery positions. They are bombarding Mariupol, and we can also see that the fire, where the fire is, there's very few in the Azovstal area, Azovstal plant, and they are mostly in the city here. It's very quiet here because these have been captured by the Donetsk forces and the Chechen forces. They are probably now pushing northward to capture this region. They are trying to capture this residential region here now, so which is probably accurate to know the map, that they have not captured this position yet. So the fighting is now more towards the center here. Maybe the outside parts are in this part. Outside parts are probably already captured by the Donetsk side. So the fighting is more towards the inner side of Lvoberezhne district here. This looks really dead, very quiet now, and then we have a lot of fighting in the middle of the city. So this time, so you can see all the way from just south of the river. Can we see the river? Yeah, this is the river, right? Just south of the river here, and then they're fighting all the way down to this part. So this part is actually now quiet. You can see it's largely quiet. There are still some burning stuff here, but the rest of the Mariupol is actually kind of like totally quiet. And this might actually represent that this entire area might have been captured by the Russian side, the Russian forces, and leaving only this part and this part that is still untaken. There is, but if you look further north, there's still some fires around here. So this is actually in the residential zone. Is around here, and literally there's nothing burning in this entire plant here, the Ilyich steel and metal plant. So there's nothing here. So very suspicious, when you see it's totally nothing there. So then we have some dots outside here. Not sure what are those. In Kamske. So here's some view about what's happening in Mariupol. And let's move all the way to does this look like artillery to you? Little bit, right? Okay, so in this front south of Kryvih Rih, this is one of those mysterious front line where I find it really weird. Nothing happening all around here until this part. So this part is actually near Chernihiv. So there is actually some burning stuff around this river here. So this could represent some fighting around this area. So otherwise it's rather quiet, right? You can see it's actually quite quiet. So let's move further south. So south of where's this place? Is there a name? So there's some burning stuff around here. So this might be some scouts or an ambush happen around the road, possible. And let's move to Chernihiv. So this town here, was captured by the Ukrainians 2-3 days ago, and they are now pushing south down the road, and fighting is actually reported at Alexandrivka. Somehow the fires are not there. The fire is actually along the river. So, and then we can see 3 points here in a straight line. This look like artillery. And in this rayon, this area, you can see there are some fighting around here. Previously, this was the location of a forward operating base by the Russians. So all these dots, not sure what are they. Maybe they are fighting on some of the randoms of the Russian forces. And these 3 dots looks suspiciously like artillery to me. And then we can have a lot of fires. These look like artillery to me. Not sure what the hell is this. This is actually a wildfire, so you can ignore this wildfire, because there's nothing there. Yeah, it's actually this part. These are wildfire. And there's a lot of burning stuff just east of Posad-Pokrovske. So if you go to Posad-Pokrovske, this is the furthest point that is being captured by the Ukrainians, and there's actually burning stuff all around Mykolaiv. So it could be a case where the Russians actually have a position here at Mykolaiv and Kopani, and then they are trying to attack, and that's why probably there's a lot of fighting around here. So possible, right? This is possible, right? So if you see some of these dots, this is actually highly Sitnov or highly Tisnove. This is actually the Russian for operating position, and they use this position to actually bombard Mykolaiv. And this is actually an entrenched position around here, behind all this forest. So you can see some dots, very faint dots. So not sure what are those. And you can see the entire picture. So you see a lot of fire here at Skadov. Not sure what are those. And yeah, a lot of weird stuff with weird dots all over the place. Voznesens is quiet, actually quiet. Some past fires around here in the north of Nova Odessa. So Nova Odessa is here, and then there's some fire along just around here. So who knows, this might be a past battle with the Russians. This look like artillery. Ivanivka here. This looks like some kind of artillery position or what. So, or it could be just a bombarded places, not so sure. So anyway, this is I think I probably covered most of the map of Ukraine already. So we take a pinch of salt regarding all this information, because if we believe it, then we are taught that this entire area is having a world war now. So, but we just focus purely on Ukraine, and some of the places does correlates with what we have on this map. And but by going through this map, we can kind of have a better understanding where the fightings are, where the fierce fightings are. So it's around this border, this area, and a push towards Avdiivka, around Chernihiv, a lot of fire around here. Everything is very quiet around Kharkiv except for Izyum, south of Izyum. This is Izyum, south of Izyum, and then we have fighting in Rubizhne, as well as along the border at Luhansk, and then at north at Donetsk, in the north of Avdiivka, as well as north of Donetsk, where Avdiivka is, as well as to the around Donetsk city. And then these are all artillery positions, as well as Mariupol. So this is the overall picture of the fighting in Ukraine based on the fire map. So this is a very, very long video. I thought this is something interesting, and then I thought we can go through once. I'm not sure how I should apply this into this area, because I don't want to be creating fake news in a way, because this is just assumptions based on the fire. And but So I just going to show you the fire one and probably not update this information into this map, because I think this might be conflicting or very confusing. So anyway, this is the fire map analysis of where the fighting is, and I'll see you in the next update.